I'll get us started. Just act natural and speak freely. I'm not sure what to say either. So, hello everyone. This is Tax Pro Guang, providing comprehensive tax filing services as well as accounting services for businesses and tax filing assistance for individuals. I don't know if you recall, but I've often pondered how our clients must feel during the waiting period for their tax filing or other essential procedures to be fully completed. I previously recorded a video about this and promised to upload it once everything was finalized. We'll have a brief discussion today. So, hello there, Jay.
Yes, hello?
Yes, hello. So, as I believe I promised before, we need to film this follow-up video now that all the services are actually completed, aren't they? Well, there is one thing left, but we'll exclude that since it's part of our past review. So, all other services are finished. So, I mentioned I'd seek your thoughts after it concluded. Could you perhaps summarize it for me in a single sentence now that everything is finalized?
Now that everything is finished, I feel truly relieved. A significant amount of time has passed since it all concluded, and thanks to the program the accountant assisted me with, and to summarize, I felt completely secure and could confidently entrust everything to him. This was true even when I was in Korea.
Ah, you're in Korea right now. Yes, yes.
Yes, I'm in Korea. It's been almost 8 months now.
But now you're saying it was a service you could entirely feel secure and confident about, even while you were in Korea. Regarding the various matters we discussed, I mentioned that I would proceed with certain handling methods and keep you fully informed. I just wanted to confirm. Did you find everything to be clearly understandable throughout the entire process?
Oh, yes, it went well, of course. The emails, what were they about? You sent them frequently and in great detail, meticulously providing information on amounts and various other important particulars, always diligently through email. And when I sent a reply or when I had a question, you promptly responded to everything I asked. You really did. Even when you visited Korea, you saw me and took all the necessary documents, right? You took them even while I was in Korea.
But earlier, before we started filming, when we were just briefly discussing what to talk about, you said that even though it was a complicated tax filing, it wasn't difficult at all and was very easy.
Oh, yes.
What was so easy?
Well, because I had heard that it was truly complicated and challenging, and when it came to things like selling a house or dealing with sales tax, we ordinary folks just don't understand those kinds of details, right? However, the accountant simply informed me what documents and information I needed to gather, and then he diligently handled all the intricate details of the process on my behalf.
Understood. I believe you gave it to us around April or May of 2023 last year, and it wasn't too late to proceed. We just barely made it within the deadline, and I distinctly recall that we proceeded with everything, successfully completing it without going past the due date. Since then, roughly a year has now gone by, and we actually provided a range of services related to that. Hmm. Uh,
And whenever letters arrived from the Canada Revenue Agency or the Quebec government, the accountant immediately took swift action to handle them without any hesitation, which was a huge relief. And he'd say, kindly prepare these things. He took care of matters promptly, which I truly appreciated. For us,
by handling it.
yes, when we got something from the CRA, we wouldn't know what it was about, but the accountant would immediately handle it and explain, this is what this means. This is something you definitely do not need to worry about. This is how it will unfold. You even told me to check my bank account for the result. You explained everything. I was so grateful.
I recall that. I made sure to provide you with comprehensive guidance, not only concerning the tax filing itself, but also regarding subsequent matters like organizing your bank accounts to ensure that no problems would arise. I advised you to the best of my ability.
Yes, exactly. You instructed me on what steps to take, beginning with my bank accounts. You even helped me with how to make bank transfers and similar tasks.
I also helped you with the bank transfers. Um, do you by any chance recall the specific amount? Do you happen to remember approximately what amount you received once everything was sorted out?
The amount? I received quite a bit.
You just remember that it was a lot?
Yes. Is it permissible for me to mention the amount, which was much more than I had anticipated?
Of course, you can mention the amount if you're comfortable with it. Your name isn't shown after all.
Then everyone will know my home's value.
No, you don't have to talk about things like that. Got it. So all of those aspects were fully handled. Beyond that, the final point I'd like to bring up as we conclude is something I consistently mention. To clients considering the premium service offered by TaxClinicAccounting, what specific recommendations or insights would you, Jay, be able to offer them? This could be a comment or some advice.
Or the advantages of opting for the premium service? Well, all my inquiries were addressed promptly, which was truly beneficial. You handled it for me? Yes.
I took care of it for you. Yes. Yes. And you're saying that whenever I had questions, you provided immediate answers and took care of everything promptly. So the accountant is very knowledgeable, which means as a client, there's no feeling of frustration, right? So, to summarize, you initially came to me with an unresolved issue that had originated elsewhere. But since then, you haven't experienced any mental distress or frustration whatsoever. What I'm asking is this. Regarding everything I promised and explicitly mentioned, has everything been handled clearly and well up to this point? So, would you say that all matters were dealt with effectively and properly?
Oh, absolutely. Everything was certainly well taken care of. Oh, I am completely satisfied, maximally satisfied. And also, you meticulously attended to every intricate detail, which led to us receiving a substantially larger refund than we had originally expected. We were absolutely thrilled with the outcome. Oh, I would be genuinely pleased to treat you to a meal, Mr. Accountant.
A meal?
Yes? Oh, come to Korea.
On a side note, I will be visiting Korea. Just to go off topic for a moment, when I mentioned it was time to conclude the video, this client, Jay, asked, shouldn't we discuss all these intricate details as well? You said it was excellent, but I considered that firstly, some listeners might struggle to grasp certain details. Secondly, I didn't want the video to become excessively lengthy because nowadays, people tend to avoid watching prolonged content, if you know what I mean. That's why I didn't include it. However, I absolutely made a commitment to take care of the matters I had assured, conducted a mid-process check, and explicitly stated that I would engage in a conversation with this particular client once everything concluded. Therefore, I'm aiming to highlight that. If you, Jay, utilized the service effectively and deemed it reliable, then I would be even more content. Since you've likely finished your Canadian affairs and are now in Korea, I truly appreciate everything. Thank you for placing your trust in me and following my guidance.
Oh, and what truly moved me was that even after my return to Korea, the accountant remained diligently attentive, consistently sending emails, and even making the effort to meet with me here. I was deeply touched by such thoughtful care. Because once I was in Korea, you could have easily neglected me as a client, right? But you didn't. You kept me updated, telling me what came in and what I needed to do. Emails came like from the CRA that you kept me updated and didn't neglect me was truly great.
Well,
And when I asked if I could mention the specific amount, you said I shouldn't talk about things like that, remember? I said, I received such a large amount back from my taxes, I should tell everyone the exact figure. But you, as my accountant, told me I really shouldn't disclose such details, didn't you?
well, if I had to put it into words, it's true that I provide these services in exchange for a fee. Yet beneath that, there's a deeper layer. It truly becomes an implicit mutual promise and understanding between us. Wouldn't you agree? If I'm charging a fee for providing this kind of service, isn't it appropriate for me to take full responsibility and provide it diligently? And that's exactly what that is. It's clear that if you go to Korea, you'll no longer use my services. However, I don't believe it's right to give someone the cold shoulder treatment just because of that, only to treat them well again later when you need something from them. That's simply not appropriate.
Yes, it was great.
It truly boils down to the fundamental trust and basic courtesy between client and service provider. I've always aimed to uphold these basics, so whether you're in Korea or not makes no difference. In fact, since you're in Korea, you probably need even more help if you think about it, and that's precisely why.
Exactly. You even told me in great detail about things like banks, what exactly to do and where to go. I was really thankful for that. Because we can't really do anything from over here. Now that we're in Korea, it's so far. But you helped us with all of that.
Not to blow my own horn, but looking at it now, the service I promised.
You can self-praise.
So, what you are essentially conveying is that I successfully rendered the promised service, uncovered numerous unexpected benefits and financial amounts, and proficiently finalized every aspect with extensive and easily digestible explanations, thereby concluding the service satisfactorily.
Oh, yes, that's a perfect summary. Exactly.
I shouldn't blow my own horn.
No, these days you have to.
Yes, well, considering that's what you mentioned, Jay, I'll also find contentment in knowing that I clearly and neatly organized the challenging tax filing process, making it easily understandable for you.
Indeed, that's spot on. Your profound knowledge allowed you to effortlessly resolve all our concerns, alleviating any frustration. You meticulously uncovered benefits and tax advantages that we, on our own, would never have found or utilized. Your assistance was truly invaluable.
We minimized the tax you had to pay.
Yes, we paid very little. You were always trying to see how we could reduce it further, saying, let's try this. And you wrote so many letters for us.
That's one way to put it. The tax bill we thought would be tens of thousands of dollars ended up being, what, around 1,500? You could mention that the final amount was approximately $1,800. And additionally, do you have any final remarks or anything else you'd like to convey to Tax Clinic Accounting, to me, or to other people?
When I first came to the tax clinic accounting for a consultation, I thought, well, wow, this is expensive. Is it really necessary? I owed a lot in taxes, and paying an accountant so much for it seemed excessive. Initially, it felt as if everything was solely about the cost, like this item is X dollars. I was already thinking, I have to pay so much in taxes, and I was hesitant about the extra cost. However, since we lacked deep understanding in that particular area, our superficial knowledge led us to consult another individual, which unfortunately turned out to be a total disaster, a complete shambles, leaving things in disarray. And then, after hearing it couldn't be done, we finally met you, the accountant. So initially I was like, this is quite pricey. Do I really need to spend this much just for a consultation? I pondered, but even so, I decided to trust you and give it a try. The trust just felt right. Listening to you, you sounded concise and charismatic. I wondered, without extensive knowledge and expertise, one simply cannot speak like that. So I trusted you with it, and wow, it was just smooth sailing.
Is that right? So that's what was going on behind the scenes.
Well, some might initially consider it pricey, but it truly delivers value proportional to its cost. It's definitely worth every penny. I'm sure that if you try it once, you'll definitely return for a second time.
But now, Jay,
Initially, it's challenging and you might waver about starting, but once you begin, you'll find yourself returning repeatedly.
though it will probably be mentioned after the video ends, our price structure has also undergone some changes. Well, first of all, thank you very much. However, there is a clear distinction between a premium service and a more affordable one. Certainly, those who truly require our premium service will likely utilize it after viewing this video. With that, I extend my sincere gratitude to you, Jay, and also thank you for putting your trust in me.
Thank you so much, accountant.
Yes, this has been Tax Pro Guang.